I just start feel happy again. And I just get called this morning because him laying up on him back on roadside, lifeless. Everything we can't manage, we can't manage, so.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. First thing that is popping in the news, we see that an ex-TikToker by the dust. Another TikToker got unalive while being on live. Don't know if you recognize it, but there's been a very disturbing trend as it pertains to TikToker, starting with or before Naya. We see Naya just recently had his final send-off. Whole bunch of controversy, whole bunch of names pointing. Again, this is said to be the son of Jamaican reggae artist that sang My Princess Gone. Don't know if Jamaica was on the island at the vicinity when this took place. However, I am sure that wherever he's at, he's going to be feeling real bad right now. Now, people, I don't know if TikTokers live a certain lifestyle, TikTokers live a double life, or TikTokers are just targeted for whatever reason. Don't know if it is because of the attitude, this dissing attitude. You know, like them say, don't know who to frighten. But it seems as if some of these people don't know which dopey for frighten or who for frighten until that person come back and dopey them. Too often, 2024, 2025, the very disturbing trend continues. Because here's the thing. If you have enemy, you can live. If your enemy hates you, your enemy wants to take you out, but you are not accessible, meaning that your enemy don't know exactly where you are. Them have an idea, say you live a Mobile, but which part of Mobile, which part of Negril, which part of Ocherius? When you go on live, especially, if your enemy is an enemy that was a friend turned enemy, friend enemy, then he's very familiar with your location. He knows that while you go on live, you're going to be there for at least a half an hour, depending on how the beggarism goes. Because this TikToker was on live again, begging like all of them, hyping up themselves, dissing this one, dissing that one, talking above their voices. The typical, atypical way that they act on social media, because that is what get the people riled up. So the people knew exactly where he was, what he was doing, know that he would have been distracted, know that more than likely he would not have any sorts of tool to defend himself. So that person just Jim screeched upon him, screeched upon him when he least expected it, and blaze him up. I have seen people get caught up before, but I actually saw when the bullet, well, not see the actual bullet, you know what I mean. Just the smoke, the explosion from the gun when it was dispensed or fired, discharged, hitting him a couple of times. Then that person went over him and made sure that the job was done, and it was well done, depending on who you ask. That person was masked up. I am sure that the person that lost his life knew or figured out who took him away, but that person's concern was not to be seen unaliving somebody while they were on live, so that he could keep his life and his safety or his freedom. People, it is a very sad state of affair in Jamaica, but it seems as if these youths don't learn. If you have enemy, sometimes people hate you for whatever reason. However, when you are hated and then people know your location, that is a recipe for disaster. You cannot be hot, you cannot be in a problem, you cannot be in a war and then expose yourself, leave your ASS out the door. You are going to be ASS out. And such is the case in this case, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called It Happened Again. It happened once more again. An ex-prisoner escaped while in custody at the Kingston Public Hospital. That is today, which would be April 29, 2025. This happened at approximately 4 a.m. That prisoner's name, Garfield Diaz O.C. Comfaball. It is said that he is from 16 St. Paul Lane, that is in Kingston 11. He is 29-year-old. Date of birth, 9/11/1995. Escape charges, assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. So we see is a very serious character. However, we see the situation is getting more and more serious by the day. Like I've always said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. You would have thought that since 2000 and 2022, 2023, 2024, where we've had mass escape under the same circumstance, you would have thought that the guards, the police, whomever from the Department of Correction is guarding these people would not just let them roam, would not just let them go to the bathroom, escape through a window, jump off of the third or fourth floor, take what themselves. So it seems as if it is hard to catch these people, and it is even harder to keep them in a these penal institution. Jamaica pretty much get FUCK. Point blank and period.
But just start feel happy again. And I just get called this morning because him laying up on him back. On roadside. Lifeless. Everything we can't manage, you know. We can't manage, so. You know, see me. Me not really, me feel like I can't hold this by myself. Him not in no wrongs. Him not in no gangs. Very hard-working person. And them just take him from me like that. This morning, me feel identify him body. Somebody take him out. I don't know why. I don't know why reason. Because he don't have no enemy. He don't have no, him humble. And him very mannerable and very quiet, hardworking and so on. So, guys, my ask you know if I can't help me find somewhere to move to, like, you know, but like, in the center area, not too far, you know, the bush or so, just somewhere convenient because I don't feel safe.
So the next thing that is popping in the news, it seems as if 2024, 2025 is not a very good year for TikTokers and their associate boyfriends and family. Because here we see the girl that is in the picture in the video, her name is Tikiana. The boy that is beside her, that is her boyfriend, he is 20-year-old. It is said, well, actually I have the pictures to prove that he was taken out, blazed up. He's in an orangish, creamish, striped shorts, blue shirt, blue pullover, and he was laying on his back, pulled over, turned over, all sorts of red, and run through him vein, run through him face, run through him mouth, run through him eyes. Obviously, because of YouTube's policy, I cannot show that video. Now, people, me don't know what it is. Is it the curse of the TikTokers? Or is it that these people are just involved? These people come like dirty bungle. These people, wherever they go, they are like black cats. Pure bad luck any which part them go. That even the TikToker them a DEAD on a rapid basis, but also their friends, them associates, them people, them in a relationship, them combo. Everybody is falling like flies. As soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that JFJ, Jamaicans for Justice, is planning their peaceful protest today. Not sure what they are going to be wearing if it is black, and that is because they are saying that 2025 is probably the worst year as it pertains to extrajudicial killing by the police. A whole lot of people lose their life. We've seen the videos circulating all over social media. We've seen all the news transcript. We've heard it on the news in our real life, wherein people from the garrison is saying that police come in, take with this one, take with that one. However, a lot of times these persons are criminal elements, but there are more than enough persons that lose their life. As a matter of fact, since 2025, in excess of 100 people. The security force said that 80% of those are justified. So therefore, if 100 people lose their life, 80 justified, that means at least 20 or more is unjustified or lost their life without any sort of justification. So that makes it more than concerning that in excess of 20 persons or so lost their life and they are not held accountable, meaning the JCF. I wanted to take a look to what the JFF has to say as it pertains to their planned protest today, which is the 29th of April, 2025.
We want to emphasize that this is not an anti-police protest. This is a protest that is pro-accountability and pro-human rights. We want to urge those who are wearing blue, as you have your freedom of choice to do, that you can also join the call for increased resources to support the wearing of the body-worn cameras, and also make a similar reasonable call for a clear, expedited timeline for body-worn camera implementation, in particular, the timeline for when the data storage infrastructure will be in place to ensure that the JCF has the support to manage those increased body-worn cameras. Again, this is not a JFJ versus JCF issue. JFJ is actually quite supportive of law enforcement officers.
Now, people, here's the thing. There's a reason why you have certain bodies that monitor certain amount of people. Just imagine there was no Indicom. Just imagine there was no JFJ, Jamaicans for Justice. Just imagine this is not just locally. International bodies for human rights see Jamaica as probably one of the worst places as it pertains to extrajudicial takeaway by the police. So therefore, it is a known fact that a lot of these police are violent, a lot of these police are corrupt, and the body itself, JCF, from mid-level management to top management to the persons that manage the affair of Jamaica. The badge, they get protection from the upper hierarchy of the JCF, including the Jamaica Police Federation, including the government, including the commissioner. It's either they don't know, they are ignorant, or they're in deep denial. I think that they know, but they just don't want to be held accountable. So what the JFJ is saying that, listen, we're not anti-police. We're not anti-good police. We're not anti-hard-working police that is out there doing the right thing, following the protocols. What we are against is the unjustified takeaway of human lives. Same thing as it pertains to Indicom. We're not saying that we're not working with the police. The police that we are working with is the police that is doing their job justifiably so. However, you just cannot go out willy-nilly and take away innocent persons and don't be held accountable. The persons that are above you, including the Justice Minister, including the Commissioner, including your Prime Minister, the head of state, the head of the country, need to come to a realization that the problem does exist. It is not as if persons are just drawing things out of thin air. The police is corrupt. The police is wicked. A whole bunch of them are just like the criminal elements, even worse, because the fact that they have the backing of the uniform and worse, the backing of the badge. So when we think about the job of Indicom, we see that people don't like Indicom because Indicom is standing up against the police. Not standing up against the good police, standing up against the corrupted police, standing up against extrajudicial takeaway. That is any country. Why is it that Jamaicans make it seem as if it is acceptable for people to lose their life and nobody is supposed to protect them? And you know why this is? That is because we become so desperate. When we become desperate, it is called blind loyalty. Blind loyalty is worse than no loyalty at all. That means that you are not fully aware of what we are going through. If 200 people get killed and 40 people get killed unjustly, that is a whole bunch of people. In a Jamaica, the situation, over 100, over 20 of them unaccounted for. Nobody takes accountability. Nobody responsible for their action. So people don't have a problem with getting rid of the criminals, so do I. However, you cannot just be taking out innocent people along with the people that are not innocent. This is not collateral damage. This is not no prisoner of war or whatever of war. People are actually losing their life. Loved ones are crying. Loved ones are in deep mourning. And the police and their top hierarchy is not held accountable. Anywhere else in the world, this is not acceptable. Only in a Jamaica, people act like them have them head up them ASS. And we've also realized that it transcends into the blogging business. Bloggers are now scared to talk the truth. Bloggers are now pro-police. Bloggers are now become police tete. The police does absolutely nothing wrong in most bloggers' eyes. So it's very mind-boggling and troublesome to me that persons who are supposed to be objective and fair have now realized that they themselves are in fear because them don't want people bash them. Them don't want to lose views. Them don't want to lose the agenda of what most Jamaicans are on. They are not about justice. They are about getting rid of the criminals at all costs. DEAD people, innocent and all. People, it makes absolutely no sorts of sense. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it seems as if since the beginning of time, policeman and taximan, cabbie and squaddy have been living like puss and dog. And based on what we see going on lately, it seems as if it is about to get worse and worse. Now, this is based on a video that has been making its round over social media in which a set of squaddy, pull over a taximan in a vehicle with some passengers. Don't know the reason for the pullover. Don't know what took place. Just based on what I am seeing, based on what persons that are on the wayside bystanders. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Yeah, man, don't get the ticket already, you know. They can't cuff up a man.
And the man paid, so the man can do anything in place. You don't give them already. And the man paid.
The man don't get the video already.
Hey, the man, there's a gunman that kill you up there. Hey, put the gun up there, the man that kill you out of the station up there. Look, they can select blood clot gun. If you own it, you don't even know one of them.
So people, like I've always said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I guess this video says it all. These taximen and these police don't know what is wrong with them, don't know why they cannot come to some sorts of amicable agreements. This is what happens when we have two forces that is always repelling, that is always rebelling. You and I know that taximen are not the greatest law appreciators out there. And you and I know that the job of the police is to make sure that whomever is breaking the law get held and be held accountable. Well, people, it seems as if that is one of those cases where everything went way, way left. Now, bad enough, squaddy and cabbie can't get along. What is even worse is the bait. the people that are out there instigating ish. That makes a bad situation even worse. We know that the police kind of ultra sensitive, thin skin. We know that they are very vindictive. We know that they are very childish in most cases. They don't like to feel as if they are disrespected, even if they are the one that initiated and violated persons' rights. Not to say that that is not the case in this case. So we say they are on a show and prove mission. Them give the man him ticket, don't know what was said, maybe it is justified. The man turn up him lane and them turn up behind him because they were going to make sure that they send out a very clear and precise message. A warning to all other cabbies out there. If you diss the po-po, we are going to pretty much come for you. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.